part of this show. Much goes on. About 2 to maybe 3 hours late. Due to unforeseen circumstances. But I come here to tell you guys, we can still rock, right? Say a prize fighter, even when he's down, he's continued to fight. He's continued to shoot. He's continued to move. You get around and get around. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Shout out to No Sleep Nation. We grind and shine. Possibilities of your mind, heart, soul, and sinew and spirit. As it drives, as it moves, as you groove to the feeling. Yeah. Shout out to the Share Gang, the Notification Squad, HBOs and the SGs out there. Come on. Y'all already know. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party, right? Yeah. One way or another, let that sink into your mind, your mental, your heart. As the meditations of our thoughts combined with the increases of our mind. Yeah. Come on. Like mama, there go that man again, right? Huh? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on, nation. We gotta grind to shine. The heart, soul, and sinew of the mind. Come on. Mama said there will be days like this. Right? Come on. Yeah. Come on, nation. We almost finished, baby. Yeah. Tell them. Tell them, tell them, tell them, tell them. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Let's grind, let's go, let's go. Come on. Hey. Oh. Come on. 2 Cent, I see you, fam. Yeah. Q Child. All right. Come on. Jaden, I see you. John, let's grind for your mind. Let's go. Shout out to you, Todd. Appreciate you. Watch how that beat kick in for you.
Law, did you watch the Roy Williams documentary? He was a beast.
Appreciate you, Todd. Appreciate you. Let's go. All right. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that documentary was something else. A lot of things to uncover from that. He was a beast, by the way. Yeah, Todd, he was a beast. And It's one of those things. Let me see if I can pull up the screen. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. By the way, my name is Law Nation for those who are here for the first time. We talk Cowboys sports, talk football and beyond, life philosophies, principles, codes, and reality, red pill versus blue pill here. We do it all, right? And the grind never stops. We always talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and we get a few people, man, from other organizations that jump in and tune in and be in and these sorts of things. So it's all good. Let me put the chat box up here. I like to have that there so that people can see this 10 to 20 years from now, right? If YouTube is still around. YouTube was down earlier today, and I was not able to do anything, and then it's back up now. Shout out to the YouTube workers burning the midnight oil, basically. Shout out to you, Italian Cowboy. Shout out to you, Jeremy. Phone home, Mahomes. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Tuba. Is that how you say your name? Appreciate you. All right, so every year is different. Every year is different. A lot of times people look at the new year and they'll say, well, this is the strength of schedule. This is where you got to play the hardest schedule, the difficult schedule, and these sorts of things. But that's not the truth. That's not the reality. Every year is different. I think the NFL got one of the highest turnovers as it relates to employment than any other professional sport. And you got growth to put into place, right? You also got the understanding that you got different coaches. You got a whole slew of things. And the football is oblong for a reason, right? It's a funny shape. It's swatty. Like, it's not a round ball. So the ball bounces different ways. And that's why people love football. This is pretty much the only sudden death type of sport that's available for our eyes. Outside of maybe the Final Four or March Madness, you lose you out, that type of groove. Most other sports, you got series, whereas you can really iron out and see who's the best team, right? Kind of like if the Dallas Cowboys were to go in the past, and let's say back to 2007, Cowboys versus the Giants, and if they were to lace them up and line them up 10 times, I'm quite sure that the Cowboys would have won probably 8 out of the 10. Maybe 7 out of the 10. Who knows? 9 out of 10. Somebody might say, well, you can't say 10 out of the 10 because we got our butt whooped that night, right? But that's why they say football is any given Sunday. So when I see like things like this strength of schedule, as my dog Jerry Wayne would say, schedule. and I'm about as country as all get out as well. You don't even really see the Cowboys. You got to squint your eyes. We are way at the bottom of the list. They say we have the second easiest schedule out there. Philadelphia Eagles got the easiest of the easiest schedule available, right? And these are against opponents, what have you. Of course, that's just how the cookie crumbles. And the Steelers, 2 centers in the house. He got one of the most difficult schedules out here. Now, Baltimore got the second hardest schedule. Chicago Bears got the second hardest, So my thing is you can never go off of this strength of schedule. I think that every year, they want parity in the league. They want teams to be comfortable and playing with each other that's close to each other. Well, this is what you get. I don't think that this means much of anything. But you got the undisputeds of the world, and you got the first takes, and they'll talk. They'll say, well, the Cowboys should go to the Super Bowl. Like, I guarantee you won't get a segment out of the Detroit. You might not get a segment at all out of the Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody talk about them, right? They were just in the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, the year before last, they won the Super Bowl, and every single day, I'm about to say Sunday, but every single day, they love to put the big D in their mouths. All of these talk shows, they love to have the Dallas Cowboys pushing out this, pushing out that. It's always about the Cowboys. I'm quite sure New England Patriots, the 49ers, the Jets, and everybody on this list, people of their fan base want to know what's going on. But it's always due to the Dallas Cowboys that we get all of the conversation for the nation. We do. Yeah, DC for life. I think the Cowboys will win their division. Yeah, I'm quite sure. They won't talk about the Kwame no more. This is Nelson. The Kwame Brown. I heard bits and pieces of it. I got to get into details. What happened? What happened ultimately? You know, we got the real dogs this year. Yeah, what? Somebody mentioned dogs, so you already know what I got to do. Yeah. That's my other dog. Let me get my big dog out. Give me 1 second. Let me get my big dog out. The big dog out. Yeah. So when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys schedule, of course, everybody gonna say, well, this is the craziest thing of it all. Let me pull up our schedule. When we talk about the Cowboys schedule, everybody will say, well, they didn't play anybody, right? If we win, right? If we start winning, I can hear them now saying that, well, the Cowboys, when they played the Buccaneers, they had a 40. They probably move his age up and say, man, they had a 48-year-old quarterback they was playing up against, right? Of course they're going to blitz them. And then when we play the Chargers and we fool around and beat them down, they would say, well, it was a second-year quarterback. Hey, you know, it was a team that was fighting. They was on the road or what have you. The Dallas Cowboys was on the road, so they had the momentum and these sorts of things. And we're saying, hey, this is a road game. Then when we play the Eagles, they don't have a quarterback, right? It will be excuses after excuses. But when we lose, boy, oh boy, we don't get that same longitude and latitude there. We don't. Q Child, appreciate you, man. The Cowboys will be 12-5. This is from John. Appreciate you, John. I think we can live with that. Let's listen in to these guys. Questioning was, do the Cowboys have to get into the playoff to be a successful year or successful season? Or I believe they asked, do the Cowboys or will the Cowboys have to go to the Super Bowl? And that's always a topic, right? All right, so I come here to tell you guys, this guy, George Edwards, I believe last season he just sat back and watched. He was just sitting there doing this because his input last season was not of what we see now during this training camp. And I know a lot of times people will look at that and say, well, Law, this is minicamp, and this is rookies minicamp at that. That's not a big deal. Well, I come here to tell you guys, there's the operation that most people operate out of, and it's called 48 Laws of Power. Sometimes when you know more than the opposite, well, not the opposition, but when you know more than your person that's above you, you don't want to show them up or you don't want to outshine them. So you allow them to do their billings. You allow them to do all of the mistakes, and you sit back and you just watch them dig their own grave. And I believe in the hearts of hearts, George Edwards, he had great intentions of this defense last season, but his input was not heard. It was not felt. It was no feeling at all. And he sat back with all of the knowledge and didn't put it out there. Because I believe when Mike Nolan came in, he was headstrong. He came in with his philosophy and his thoughts, and he said, hey, this is what we're going to do. I don't want a Byron Jones. I need playmakers. I need somebody that can jump routes. Remember that statement. I'm looking for ball hawks, basically. He said that in so many words. And when it's time to show the work, he was like, you know what? I won't be in this press box over here. Y'all just do what I said, you know. Yeah, now I want y'all to go out there and do what I said now. Go out there, get. And players feel that. Players know when you're not down in the trenches with them, when you're not showing your work and you just sitting around with your chest poked out. That's how he was as a defensive coordinator. And I'm not trying to sully or denigrate Mike Nolan. He may have all of the greatest intentions. My grandmother used to say this all the time. There's people in hell with great intentions. His intentions might be such that, hey, I'm going to come over here. Hey, Mike, I gave you your first job. Help a brother out. I need about $3 to $4 million to go ahead and retire off of. Come on, man. Let me get one more swing at it. I promise you, my philosophy, my thoughts will be able to permeate throughout the locker room. And it never did. He had people more confused opposed to learning. He had players sitting there saying they were complaining, saying it was too difficult. And newsflash, wherever he'd been as a defensive coordinator, the same sentiments were heard from the players. And I'm not trying to make this stuff up because y'all know y'all can just Google it and you will find it, right? I said that casually when I say I'm not trying to make it up. I'm just telling you guys the truth when I say that. Old folks say this too. You might want to write this down. Not everybody's lying. Truth somewhere in there. Let's see what else they had. All right, so they're arguing over who's rebuilding and what the expectations are. Here's the situation, and I love it. I absolutely love the fact that they're talking about this in these type of forms. The expectation every year should be, before you take the big step, of course, take the small step. Win every game that you play. That's the simple expectation. Now, take it one day at a time, of course. Then your next goal will be win your division. That's the simple of it all. You win your division, you in the playoff, okay? Playoffs, remember they do playoffs? But you got to temper your expectations. So even before we get to the point of winning every game, let me start all the way through minicamp. Minicamp right now, these guys are trying to see, okay, can you pick up this particular system? Hey, do you have good feet? Hey, do you know how to sink your hips in this particular pivotal moment? Hey, what type of techniques did you normally use while you was in college? All right, show me what you got. Show me what you use the best. What are your best moves out there, right? What can you showcase to the world to have everybody saying, okay, these are the things that you can do. All right, so these are your best moves. All right, you do those for the first day. Then the second day and the third day and beyond, these are the things I want you to do from my philosophy, from my skill set, from where I want you to backpedal out of, where I want to see if you can widen, how I want you to anchor in, how I want you to redirect. These are the core principles that I establish and that I'm installing in order for you to be my type of player. And then they go on a mini vacation, and then they come back, and they're going to see whether or not you can retain majority of that information. That's how it goes. And then when you get out there in Oxnard, the main goal will be, can you remain healthy, right? Can you hold on to this playbook, and can you learn the things, and can you compete? And then after preseason, week one, take it one day, I'm about to cuss, one game at a time. But take it one game at a time. Do it in those fashions. And then your goal will be to win the division. And then from the division, get you a bye. You want that bye week, but I would rather for the Cowboys to play week one of the playoff because there's an old Garrett-ism in me, and I just can't trust us having a week off and then playing the next week. Y'all know how that goes, right? Nevertheless, and especially, Cabo and all of the other stuff. Oh, that's a whole nother story. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? And then after you just build them, man, just build up. Build up. But you got to have those expectations in those fashions. If you never have them, then you probably would never achieve them, right? Game. Shout out to you too, Cent. Appreciate you, man. He said game, defeat, same thing. Yeah, I feel you. Shout out to you, Jessica. Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi. Roster-wise, it was a soft rebuild. Okay. Let me see if I can read the rest of it. But because of coaching and turnovers in the past 2 years, it turned into a moderate rebuild. This is from Jeremy X. Good thought right there. And I like that. I like that soft rebuild, and then it returned into a moderate rebuild. Rebuilding is something that you should always look forward and toward to. It's like a house. It's literally like a house. When you start seeing things, lights flickering, light bulb go out, you should, as the man of the house, you should already have light bulbs in your storage. You shouldn't have to go out there and go purchase more and more light bulbs. Some small things. You see the grass getting a certain level, you should cut it before it get too tall, right? You might want to keep it low anyway. You don't want the snakes to come. So those are just principles to life in general. You got to do your football team like that in the same fashion. If you see a player that's getting too tall, basically, I'm using that as an analogy, cut them before it hurts too bad. It's like being in one of those situations whereas the longer you wait, the taller it get, the more things get trapped in, and now you don't want to let go because you know that there's some loose stuff in between, but it's time for you to cut it. Got to let it go. Shout out to you, George, Jay, and as well as Jessica, Brandon. Appreciate you, Dime for easily voice. I think that's Chris Broussard, right? That's his name. Whiny, nasally voice. He got that voice that you got to maybe ask him, can you do some push-ups, bro? Put a little bass in there. My thing is, when we talk about the division itself, you got the Eagles, you got the Washington team, and you got the Giants. I said that earlier last week, Dak Prescott will separate himself from the rest of the division, just by default, basically. Think about this. I know a lot of people going to say, well, the Washington team, they got Ryan Fitzmagic, and that defense is a very, very, very ferocious type of defense, and we got to be in fear of the Washington team. And the Giants, for crying out loud, had top 10 defense last year, and they're going to repeat that in these sorts, right? Okay, I give you that. I give you that those defenses will be great. Yeah. And I'm casually saying that, by the way, just jokingly. But when they face against the Dallas Cowboys in their full capacity, I don't think that they will have the ability to beat us. Think about this. Go back to the Thanksgiving game. That was the Washington team. They pretty much, until Andy Dalton and, of course, Mike McCarthy shot themselves in the foot, for crying out loud, going for it on 4th and 20 on their own side of the field or something like that. What was it, 4th and 10, something like that? They was pretty much in that game. In that game, they was in that. That was against the Washington team. And I know people going to look at the end of the score and say, nah, Law, they got blown out. Go back and watch that game. Go back and watch that game. And when you think about the Giants team, come on. Come on. Now, of course, Dak Prescott got hurt last season going up against that Giants team. But I believe in the hearts of hearts, if Dak Prescott never got injured, we'd have came out victoriously on that game. But I know people are going to say, well, Law, you're only looking at it through the Cowboys' goggles. Okay. Shoot to make the playoff. And I believe every year, if you don't make the playoff, it's a horrible year. It's a horrible season. Now, it's a crazy world when you hear LeVar Arrington defending the Cowboys. That is crazy. I didn't like him when he hit he didn't hit Tony Romo. He hit Troy Aikman, right? He was the guy that knocked Troy Aikman out of the game. Was it him? And it's crazy that LeVar Arrington, Jay Lombardi said LeVar is a hater. And it's crazy that he now become the guy or the voice of reasonings, right? It's like, okay, cool. Cowboys make it to the playoff. I believe that will be a successful year. What he's saying is that, yeah, they should make the playoff. But the questioning is, will they make a deep run in the playoff? Now, everybody else on that panel outside of Greg, I think his name was Greg Jennings, right? He was saying that basically, yeah, the Cowboys will make the playoff. And, of course, we can go back to the schedule and we'll say, all right, cool. They got the Buccaneers. Yes, that's the Super Bowl caliber team. They just won the Super Bowl. They defended the Super Bowl. But everybody else on this list, hey, no fear, right? And they sleeping on the Chiefs, they sleeping on the Patriots, and they sleeping on maybe, just maybe, the Washington team that we got to play twice out of this year. And I give them that. But I would tell everybody from this particular situation, every year is different. One year to the next, there will be a total change because there's parity in the league. There's so many things that change as far as within the confines of the coaching, and then the health aspect of it. It changes everything. Look, I'm going to tell you guys that LeVar, he spoke nothing but the truth with that, and he put the other guy in the body bag. If I was the guy to make the decision on who won that debate there, I would say LeVar, because you missing your quarterback, of course. And who determines whether or not you have a successful season due to the course of your season opposed to the end of your season? Now, we have a guy named 2 Cent up in here, and I believe he's a Steelers fan through and through. Look, let me ask you a question. Let me ask everybody in the chat. Did the Steelers had a successful season last year? Was it a success? Do you get an award for going 9-0? Would you rather go 9-0 and not do anything? What was their final record? Did they go to the playoff? Did they win a playoff game? Let's chop that down. All right, so did the Steelers didn't make it to the playoff, or did they make it to the playoff? What happened to them? I don't feel like Googling it. You know, what determines success? Yeah, I'm going to read your comments, man. Dance with the Stars. Shout out to you, Katie. And shout out to everybody that's on the Facebook group as well. Lost in the wild card. Who did they lose to? You know. Come on, Law. It is 2 Cent. Come on. Look, I'm just asking the question here, man. Look, charge it to my head. Oh, they went 11-0. Okay, I thought they went 9-0. Oh, they played us when they was 9-0, right? Pittsburgh played teams under 500 in those first 9 games. Okay, good. Lost in the wild card to the Browns. So would you rather, I know, expectation-wise, especially by them being 11-0, and we got a resident Pittsburgh Steelers fan in the house. By them being 11-0, I'm quite sure when it got down to 8-0, man, you couldn't tell them nothing. They were saying Super Bowl, baby. They was dancing. They were talking mad cash money. Hey, Chase Claypool, he's the next greatest thing since sliced bread. Big Ben, oh, my goodness, man. He can just make any wide receiver famous, right? Oh, my goodness, man. We got the best coach. Look, I believe that the last time the Steelers had a losing season was in 2004. 2005 or something like that with their particular coach. He never had a losing season. And look at him. He's on a hot seat because he can't get them over the hump, although he got him a hardware. Can you imagine within that scale of time and reasoning if Jason Garrett got us 1 Super Bowl? Don't y'all think that we would have Mike McCarthy here, right? We'd have gave him longitudes and latitudes more and more times. We would never got rid of him if he just gave us 1. Oh, my goodness. All right, so who's the other team? I think I saw Eastside Harold in the house. Now, earlier in this debate, they were saying that the Cowboys couldn't beat a team that was over 500. I'll come here to ask you guys a quick question. And I know we got some wise people in the chat. No, we got some wise people. 2 cents says that's low law. I'm just calling it out, man. But I think that many of Cowboys fans, we would love to have a non-losing season since 2004, 2005. I believe we would love to have that as our record, what have you, right? And your coach, he just figure out ways to win. But let me go over to the Texans. I think I saw Eastside. I think I saw his name pop up over there. And he loved the Texans. He don't like them. He love them. What was, and I hope that he can get his head together in these sorts of things, Deshaun Watson record against winning teams. What were their excuses for not making it to the playoffs or not winning or not leaving out with a record north of 500? What was his record against winning teams? Somebody can somebody Google that for me while I find this other topic piece to pull up. Thomas Garrett, shout out to him. He says the Dallas Cowboys expose the Pittsburgh Steelers. All I wanted the Cowboys to do is to keep Garrett Gilbert in, because Garrett Gilbert gave CeeDee Lamb life. And CeeDee Lamb in that game, I went back and rewatched some of it, that interception and these sorts of things. It was crazy, right? It was crazy how he stopped and led up on one of his routes. And of course, some other things that happened through the course of that game. But I wanted at least Garrett Gilbert. I'm still fighting for Garrett Gilbert now, although they bring it in the other guy, Brett Hundley. They bringing him in for a cup of coffee. Yeah. Shout out to you, Richardson. Appreciate you. No supporting cash, limited protection for Watson. Oh, okay. That's what happened to Watson. No supporting cast members. And I was telling people all the time when I was watching Deshaun Watson, I said, man, he looked like, and don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation, I said, man, he looked like Dak Prescott before Amari Cooper arrived. But a lot of people think that Dak Prescott had Amari Cooper his entire career. He only had, collectively speaking, Amari Cooper for a year and a half. But you guys remember that season when we was like 3-5-ish, something like that, before we had Amari Cooper, and he was trying to make stuff happen with Cole Beasley and make stuff happen with guys that they picked up off the streets and these sorts. And Michael Gallup was a rookie in these things, So that's what Deshaun Watson looked like without DeAndre Hopkins. That's just my observation. It was just my observation right there. Let's see. Skip says Dak Prescott is at it again, talking like the Cowboys just won the Super Bowl. This is the next topic from
Eight of the Cowboys' 11
Undisputed
draft picks came on the defensive
Channel.
side of the ball, and only one offensive skill player, Sami Fahoko. The 6'4" receiver out of Stanford was drafted in the 5th round, and Fahoko told Clarence Hill Jr. that Dak texted him a couple minutes after he was drafted, saying, quote, "Get ready to work. We're about to go light up the league." After signing a 4-year, $160 million contract extension this
I got to go, woo! He said, we about to light up the league. Dak Prescott must see something in Sami Fahoko. He must see something. He must know something that we don't know. Why would he, did he reach out to the other guys, like the guys that was undrafted, right? He didn't reach out to those guys. But it's something special about Sami. 6'4". Some people said he ran a low 4.3, but I think he ran a 4.4, 40 or what have you. And I'm not even worried about that. But when you're 6'4" and you run under a 4.5, that's pretty good. And when you look back at his tape, he lines up pretty much everywhere and anywhere. He's an inline guy. He can line up inside. He can line up on the outside. And he got some little quickness burst to himself or to his game at the top of the route. I like that. I do. I flat out like that. Now, I know a lot of people saying, well, Law, that means, with all capital letters, that Gallup is gone, right? You know, Gallup is out the door. He's going to Gallup right out of here. But it's not that. It's not that. I think that this is going to be like a contract year for Gallup, what it is. And I think Gallup going to show his natural, you know what. Gallup going to show up this year. That's my dog right there. I believe Gallup going to show up.
Offseason expectations are high for Dak and the Cowboys.
Now, I haven't watched this episode yet, so don't spoil it for me, Cowboy Nation.
So, Shannon, are you surprised Dak would text this to a fifth pick guy?
Yeah.
Fifth round pick guy.
Consider, hell, he might not even be there on the team for them to light it up. I wanted Dak to text him, hey, bro, we about to win some games, so get ready. Hold up, last year, Dak played 5 games. He's 1-3. He got hurt in the 5th game. Were they lighting it up, Skip? I want Dak to do some of this without them empty calories. I want them to be ahead and he throw for 400. Not when they down by 22 and he throws for 400 and they lose. And Skip Bayless come out here on a Monday and talk about my guy is a warrior. He fought to the bitter end. The end result was the same thing.
Yep.
Casualty. Yes, y'all terrible. You're going to be terrible again. And again, let me reiterate for those that didn't hear me last week. The Dallas Cowboys will not win the NFC East. They will finish 3rd in that division.
Oh, it's comedy. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, man. I needed this good laugh. I should have did this show 2 hours ago with just me by myself, even when YouTube was down. I should have just did this show by myself, baby. But I wanted to do this with you guys so I can get my raw emotions and my raw laughter about this. Because, man, you know, the craziest thing of it all, this guy really believed this, right? And the empty calorie stuff. Like, it only applies to the Cowboys. That's what makes me mad. That what makes me mad. Like, all of a sudden, like in the Super Bowl, one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've seen, the young one, Pat Mahomes. It's like, where was his empty calorie snacks? I'm about to say snacks. But what do you call them? Empty calorie stats. Yeah, stats. Some kind of snacks. But stats. What happened to his? Why he only put up 9 points? Hey, when the Buccaneers had that big league, shouldn't Pat Mahomes put up 300 to 400 yards? And also, how come when Dak Prescott went down, hear me out, Cowboy Nation, don't crucify me. How come when he went down that all of the other guys couldn't put up those same numbers? Let me see if I think I put it in here somewhere on my page here. Yeah, I got it right here. I know you got to squint your eyes, but I just pulled this up for reference points right here. This is on my Instagram. It says, okay, the Dallas Cowboys points per game when Dak Prescott was under center, 32 points. Oh, when he was gone, 21 points. And you got to really squint your eyes to see this. Passing yards per game. Is that 381.4 yards per game? Oh, that's when he was playing. But when he gone, you know, it was 204 yards. Passing yards, this is the actuals, right? Like the passing yard stat. The Dallas Cowboys were ranked number 1, not number 3, not number 4, not number 5, not number 2, number 1. Oh, when he left, the empty calorie stats went away. They went from number 1, first place, to the 28th in passing yards per game. Now, I'm quite sure that I heard people say that any quarterback can do what Dak Prescott was doing. Matter of fact, I heard people went tooth and nail, fighting left and right, saying Andy Dalton is better than Dak Prescott. Argued me down, made long soliloquies and poems and quotes and posted all on my Twitter, all in my inbox saying that Andy Dalton, look, he's going to light it up. He's accurate. He go through his progression faster. He never had the amount of weapons that Dak Prescott had. gave him the same tools, and he couldn't build nothing. Couldn't dive in a pool and make a splash. Matter of fact, the cameraman and the cheerleaders were at risk. That's why they said, hey, man, nobody on the sidelines anymore. It wasn't due to the pandemic. They're like, look, man, this ball is coming your way. But I digress.
And while you up here talking about lighting the scoreboard up, how about win some games? But you know what? People are gullible by nature. You know why? And there's no fan base more gullible than the Dallas Cowboys. You know why, Skip? Because Jerry Jones and players on that team come out every year. This is going to be our year. And those gullible, naive fans run out and buy all that paraphernalia. Super Bowl, baby. Have the little trophies made of tinfoil. Super Bowl, we're going to the Super Bowl. Cowboys, look at all the number one. No, you're not. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I need you and you to tell your fan base to get that out of their heads. They're not going to the Super Bowl. So will you repeat that for me? We're not going to the Super Bowl. Say it with me. We're not going to the Super Bowl. Because you're not.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
It's my
and your
turn.
team terrible.
Before Skip goes with his lie itself, there's 32 teams out there. 32 teams, right? So when you say, well, the Dallas Cowboys not going to the Super Bowl, I can literally say the Arizona Cardinals not going to the Super Bowl. And I can have an episode every single day and say the Pittsburgh Steelers not going to the Super Bowl. 9 times out of 10, it will be equivalent to me saying the sun going to rise tomorrow. The sun going to rise tomorrow. In Dallas, if you're in this area, it's going to rain tomorrow, you know? Look, it is hard to get to the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. And I know it's been 25 to 26 years. And I know, I get it, you know. But I got to come here to defend my Cowboys because I'm going to fight for them. You know, that's my team. That's my team. But I know it's been a long time. But if it was so easy to win the Super Bowl every year, or the equivalency of winning the Super Bowl is so cheaply to win, then how come the other teams in our division have not caught up? I ain't talking about you, Steelers fan, because I know y'all got that 6th Super Bowl, and I can't stand you for it. My uncle is a diehard Steelers fan, right? And he wears that doggone hat. To me, it's crazy. Y'all got one logo on one side and no logo on the other. It's crazy, right? Put logos on both sides, for crying out loud. But I come here to tell you guys that all of this stuff is entertainment, baby.
If my rookies could play as big as they already talk, then we just might shock Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game and play the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
We just might.
Oh, yeah.
If they could just live up to all this blah, 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 blah. I've never heard a rookie class talk so much, probably since your rookie class. Right?
Well, they get it from Jerry. Thank your owner for that, Skip.
Micah Parsons already talks like he's the best player on the defense, and you know what? He probably is.
He might be.
He just might be. And then my second rounder.
Come on.
My second rounder is known as Boss Man Fat, and he's made 6 rap albums. His name is Kelvin Joseph, and he's got a lot of talent, but boy, he talks a big game at cornerback.
He got more rap albums than interceptions.
He does, and let's hope that changes quickly.
Ho. Don't be talking about the man, Boss Man Fat. In 15 games, he got 4 of them. He played 6 games with, dare I say, the LSU, and then also he played 9 games with Kentucky. Yeah, he sat out a year. The kid is still young. He only played 15 games, for crying out loud, and got 4 INTs. That's pretty good by my watch. And then on top of that, one of those interceptions came from, shout out to Bama fan if he's out here watching, we came across one of the guys that what did he win the Heisman? So all I can say is, and I know. When you look at the minicamp right now, everybody's kind of like out of shape, a little sloppy. Some of the guys like Israel and Nashawn Wright, they are in shape or what have you. But give it time. Give it time. First week, second week, always the toughest week. And believe it or not, for those who out there run and used to run and didn't run in a minute, and then you get out there and run, man, Tell me how you feel that second day and that third day. You be like, damn, shoot, I'm out of shape. But around week 4, week 5, you be dusting everybody.
Then let's go to my third pick in the third round, Nashawn Wright out of Oregon State. He has already said publicly that he's a more agile, athletic Richard Sherman. Then he says he actually reached out to Sherm just to make sure Sherm was okay and understood why he was saying that.
No.
And he says that Sherm was cool with him. Well, the only reason Sherm is cool with that is because Sherm would also like to be a Dallas Cowboy and play for his former coordinator, Dan Quinn.
I don't know if he noticed this, but Sherm probably going to end up in Canton one day.
Probably he will.
I don't know. Is Sherm first ballot? Is he first ballot? Y'all let me know. Is Sherm first ballot Hall of Famer? I don't know. I don't know if he's first ballot, though. He might be, though. I need to look at his stats. I need to, though. I ain't gonna have no opinion on it until I really look into his stats. But I'm gonna ask y'all, is Sherm first ballot Hall of Famer? King James said yes. Eddie O says yes. Okay. Hey, I got no rebuttal to it. Yeah, he got him a Super Bowl and everything. That counts. That holds a lot of weight. Yeah. Hell yeah. Sherm, Keywan says, okay, yeah. For sure. Cowboys fanatic. Okay. Ain't gonna talk on it no more.
Which brings me to this young man. And Sami Fahoko played at Stanford, and he's 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
And reportedly at his pro day, he timed 4.37. I watched a couple of Stanford games just because I want to watch Davis Mills, because Davis Mills can play a little bit. Looks like he might be the starting quarterback for the Texans this year. I got to tell you that Fahoko never caught my eye one time because I don't think he plays nearly as fast as he times.
Right.
So
how fast you say he ran?
4.37. That's what they said at 6'4", 220. So you say, wow.
He gonna be the fastest guy working at Goldman Sachs.
He
They killing Fahoko. Let me tell you this. If y'all believe Skip Bayless watch any level of film, I come here to tell you guys, he ain't watching no film. If y'all believe that, I got land on the moon for sale. I have unsinkable land in Florida. Unsinkable. Let that sink in. For sale with high real estate. All you got to do is see that stroller on the bottom of my screen. Send me some Cash App orders, and I got you, especially on that land on the moon. I sell it to you for the low, $25,000 per land, yours, on the moon. Just hit that Cash App, send $25,000 there. If you believe that Skip Bayless is watching some film on Stanford receiver.
might be. He just might be. I'm sure he's a smart young man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I got it.
Goldman
So
Sachs.
I'm going to reread this quote here again. He says, Dak texted me a couple of minutes after I was drafted, just telling me, quote, get ready to work. We're about to go light up the league. Timeout. You're telling me that my quarterback, who now has the highest signing bonus and the most guaranteed money in the history of the National Football League, stooped to text the fifth-round pick in this draft, the fifth-round pick, and say, hey, get ready because I need you to help me light up the league. I already have three receivers capable of going over 1,000 yards, and we know who those three are. And CeeDee Lamb was the prize of the draft for me a year ago, and Amari's still there, and Michael Gallup's still there. And remember, Blake Jarwin, whom Dak calls the best athlete on the team, I hope is back full speed after he tore up his knee. And maybe he's not Shannon Jarwin, but he's a pretty good Blake Jarwin.
Schultz played well.
And I agree. Another Stanford kid played very well. So Dalton Schultz. So the point is, there's only one football, and I'm not sure that Simi's going to catch many of those
Right.
football, that one football gets thrown
See me.
to. Yeah.
The other guy for Coming to America, that was Eddie Brown.
I got it.
That was his homeboy.
Maybe that's it.
But Skip, look,
Hey, before you go, man, he's funny, man. Hey, y'all have to go watch this episode and look at their shirts, man. This is the funniest thing in life, man. All right, so appreciate you, Right Side, for the donation to help uplift the nation. Appreciate you. Skip has no clue about real football. Dax texts every pick, but he doesn't bring that up. Yeah. Dak Prescott, and then Simi don't have a reason to lie to kick it, right? You know, it's like some lies people tell, but this lie right here would be something that it would.
Uplifting the nation. Skip has no clue about real football. Doc texted every pick, but he doesn't bring that up.
Yeah. So Dak Prescott is a psychologist, right? And Dak Prescott have that cerebral mind to make sure that these guys can get right on the same page. And Dak Prescott got this voice of reasoning too. Think about this. He was the 4th pick in 2016 and not even the first 4th pick out of that pick, right? So this goes a long, long way. Dak Prescott might be looking at this thing saying, okay, even if you were the 5th round draft pick, the 6th round draft pick, or undrafted, there's an opportunity to make your name worthy of being on this active roster. So come on out here, let's light up the league. And that's what I was saying to everybody. It'd probably be a generic tech, but he might look at it like, okay, I'm going to individualize this thing. Dak is a true leader. Yeah, appreciate you. Caesar, thank you as well. What's good with you, Osborne? So that is the true situation. When you are a leader, you know, sometimes you see that troop that says, or you see that this picture that says, leaders take charge, instead of some people would say charge and they want everybody else to get in front of them. No, the leader take charge. The leader set the role. The leader set the example. Dak Prescott, and I'm not trying to make this a Dak Prescott show, by the way. I'm not trying to. But and we got another leader, too, on the defensive side, and we can talk about that. But every year out there in Oxnard, they give away 3 or 4 golf carts. And it's predicated upon if you're in shape, if you met all your measurables, if you met everything that's in line. Dak Prescott every year win that golf cart, meaning that he's in shape. He's on G waiting on O.
look at it. I got some numbers for you, Skip. Do you realize that 88% of Dak's yards came last year when the Cowboys were losing?
What have I been telling you?
47% came when they were down by 2 scores.
Okay. All right. I got it. Now, he did bring them all the way back to beat Dan Quinn's Atlanta team that
That's
had
your
the
coach.
5th worst pass defense in the history of the league.
That's your DC now.
40-39 after we were down, 29-10 at halftime. We were way down
And
starting the fourth quarter.
39-20 at one point.
Whew. And we came back against that team. And not only do we take the man who oversaw that defense as our new coordinator, he was the head coach obviously in Atlanta, but we took Keanu Neal and DeMonte Kazee off that defense, the 2 safeties, quote unquote, not so safe safeties. We took them in free agency.
But you know what? But I tell you what will happen. Your offense will have a lot of confidence going against that defense. They're going to think, they like, whoo, we about to light it up. Now your defense just bad.
Time out. Let's put everything in context right quick, okay? In the beginning, I was talking about, hey, every year is different, right? Put that on the shelf. Also, I got to ask you guys this. Even though Dan Quinn was over there in Atlanta, can somebody answer me this or give me the answer to this question? Was he the defensive coordinator? Was he calling the defenses out there? Was he designing the plays and saying, okay, let me do this? Now, put that on the shelf. Are you guys able to go and watch the clip that I put out earlier today and all this week about the fact that Dan Quinn is literally working with that front 4, working with Big Bo, working with Osa, working with even Golston, working with all of these guys, putting his physical hands on these players and saying, hey, this is what I want you to do. I come here to tell you guys, less is more. Because he didn't have that longitude and latitude to do that in Atlanta because he had so many other responsibilities. I'm just trying to put this out here for your mind's sake to understand that sometimes you may be good at one thing and not good at many. Some people are just good at coaching up the front. Some people are good at coaching up multiple things, but it just not what's his. I'm rapping with you guys now. If you can't keep up, just slow it down because I'm going to tell you guys right now, when you got Dan Quinn that's working out with the front, teaching these guys individual drills and saying, okay, this is how I'm going to elevate your game. This is what the best defensive fronts are able to do. And this is how I'm going to train you to fit within the confines of my system. Oh, pump the brakes just a little bit. George Edwards, can you come over here to work out with these linebackers? Oh, by the way, let me pull up his resume. Can you guys just do this real quick? Look up Anthony Barr. Look up, was it Hendricks? It's Kendricks over there in Minnesota land. And also, by the way, look up their particular defense while he was there, the Vikings. And I know you can give Mike Zimmer some of that credit too because he is a defensive-minded guy, of course. But the guy that had the influence on that linebacking was George Edwards. Oh, wow. He didn't do that last year, but he's doing it this year because he sees the potential in Michael Parsons. He sees the potentials in Jabril Cox. He sees the potential even in whatever they're going to do with Jalen Smith as well as LVE. I don't think that George Edwards was over there in Atlanta last year, by the way. And if you look at George Edwards last year, he didn't really have his fingerprints on his defense at all because he said, okay, Mike Nolan, you want the show? Well, hell, you can get it. It's your show. I'm going to sit back and just watch this thing crash and burn. Basically, I'm just collectively speaking. That's what happened.
That's the defense you're going to practice again.
Okay, if we had taken Patrick Surtain because your Denver Broncos hadn't stolen him one pick before we picked at 10, if this were Patrick Surtain, he would probably be saying next to nothing
He won't
right
say
now.
anything.
And
No,
you know
he's
what?
not a talker.
You know what? He would probably make his first Pro Bowl next year. He would be in the competition for Defensive Rookie of the Year next year. And he would proceed to make, I don't know, 10 or 12, I'm going to knock on wood for his health, but 10 or 12 Pro Bowls the rest of his career because that's who he is.
Yeah, no, he's not a talker.
That's who his father raised him to be as a Pro Bowl cornerback.
Before we get into this Patrick Surtain, I like Patrick Surtain, but before we go down that road, right, I got to tell you guys, just because he's drafted in the top 10 does not mean that he's going to be this shutdown, lockdown, Hall of Fame, 10-time Pro Bowl cornerback. He may have the temperaments to not say much and talk much, and he's a solid guy. I see no fault in him. I don't see any fault in the kid, him as well as my dog, the other kid, Joe Horn's son, J.C. Horn. I don't see no faults in these guys, but now they enemies. Now they enemies. We got Parson, according to some scouts and some GMs, he was the best draft pick as it relates to the defensive guy in the 2021 draft. I'm not saying that Parson will ground break the world this year and become Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I'm saying with the help of George Edwards within the confines of Dan Quinn, a lot of things can go. Look, believe it or not, Parson is faster than Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn, right? Parson is faster than both of those guys. The kid is raw. And now you got people like the George Edwards as well as Quinn coaching and teaching this guy up. And they're going to make sure that they put him in right space and spots. Oh, we played the Broncos this year, right? We played the Broncos this year, right? Yeah, let me pull up the schedule. Let me see, because I think I saw we played the Broncos this year. Week 9. Week 9. We play the Broncos week 9. I'll do this right here. I'll hold this right here. If Patrick Surtain shut down CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, or even if we have Sami Fahoko, out there, Blake Jarwin, any of those guys, if he shut them down, like on their side of the field, because the other cornerback is Fuller is on the other side, right? They got two good corners. If he survived, if he's there by week 9, if he shut them down, I'll take back all I said. But I believe week 9 at 1 o'clock p.m., Parson is going to have 2 sacks that day. Maybe 1, or pressure. If healthy, if all is said as well, I believe Parson will probably have more of an impact. And I like the fact that we got Boss Man Fat. By that time, Boss Man Fat and Diggs going to be our 2 cornerbacks. Alpha Dogs, I see you over there. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with it.
Himself, Patrick Sr. Okay, so that's what I don't have now. I've got Kelvin Joseph, and I've got
Sami
Fahoko,
See me, man.
This is what I got. And now, because they gave him number 81, he's saying, get your popcorn ready because he's got TOs over there.
He didn't do that.
Okay, and he's also reaching out to Des Bryant, which is always a bad sign to me because there's only one Des. And
he want to wear 88?
Well, no, he just wants to be 88, Like he's already wearing 81.
I thought
I didn't catch that reference. Can somebody confirm that? And then they got Simmons. Yeah, Travis. Yeah, they do got Simmons, Justin Simmons as well. So they got a vaunted defense, and I'm talking about the Broncos. So I tell you what. This is what I would do. If they hold the Cowboys, I would do 250. If the Cowboys don't get over 250 yards passing, I would do 250 push-ups on that day, week 9. If the Cowboys can't get north of 250 yards passing, I would do, regardless if we win, lose, or whatever, and if Dak Prescott is healthy, if we don't get 250 yards, y'all can mark it down. It is now May the 19th where we're talking about this topic right now. I would do 250 push-ups.
The run game is on check due to the draft. We stopping the run big time this year.
Oh, yeah. So that's what I would do. That's what I would flat out do.
CD, I forgot. You got to put it in. So CD might put in to change the number 2 next year
to 2.
To 2 next year because you'd have to buy. Remember, I told you, Skip, you'd have to buy all the inventory of all the 88s with Lamb on the back.
Yeah,
that could be $50,000. Nah,
they ain't putting doggone 88 on Simi. Come on now. Hey, also Cowboy Nation, appreciate you, Whiteside, for the donation. By the way, really appreciate you. My thing is, did Simi reach out to Dez Bryant? Y'all help me out. If he did, can y'all tweet that to me, man, in my Twitter right here at Law Nations, and I'll be able to see that right there. Just tweet it at me, mention me in that tweet so I can have it over here, and I'll give you a shout out, man. Did he really reach out to Dez Bryant? Could that be a good situation if Simi reached out to Dez Bryant? I pretty much like that.
Okay.
I just wait till next year.
Okay. So I've never heard a bigger talking class of rookies for a worse team than this.
What about your owner? Have you ever heard of a more talking owner than your owner?
Nope.
Okay, then. So
not in the history of the National Football League no owner's ever had his own radio gig every week, right?
Exactly.
In fact, Jerry has 2 radio gigs.
2 radio gigs. And now Steven got one.
He's got one
because
he is Jerry.
They got us, man. Yeah, even Steven got one, Yeah, there's three episodes a week. They know it because we pretty much, this should be the Undisputed Cowboys. That should be the name of that show.
Junior.
So I mean, y'all gonna talk a good game. Y'all gonna talk about the game.
We talk great, and it sells tickets.
Yes.
And by the way, my stadium might be wide open by September. It's going to have 100,000.
Well, they just had 73 for a box. Canelo's box is back, so you know they about to come September. They about to put 100,000 in there.
I was just watching a golf tournament over the weekend in Dallas, and boy, there are a whole lot of people out there without masks on.
Yes, yeah. Y'all talk a good game. I don't know if you're gonna win. You won't win many games, but you're gonna talk a lot of them.
Well, we'll win the East, but that's by default.
Y'all ain't winning no East.
Yep.
We already got 5 cases on that. Y'all not winning the East.
5 cases to do on that. We winning the East, man. Cowboy Nation, we are, man, and I can't wait. So week 9, I got y'all on that wager. Y'all know I'm a man of my word. I would do 250 push-ups if we don't get over 250 yards passing. Now, if we better not pass for 249, and if we win regardless, I might just do it just off of general principles. You know how this thing goes, Cowboy Nation. They roasting, but at least we have transparency.
They roasting, but at least we have transparency.
Yeah, got transparency here, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your right side, man, Coach. Coach, I really appreciate you so much, man, for all of the stuff that you do over here. All right, Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in for this late episode through the week. I'm trying to go live every day. So be sure to hit that notification bell, subscribe to this channel. Let people know, man, that, hey, there's this guy named Law Nation. He talk Cowboys, sports talk and beyond. And, you know, we get a good laugh out of it, right? And we'll be back at this thing maybe tomorrow talking about the Cowboys and whatever decision they're going to make. I was about to chop up a video on George Edwards and his ability to help out this team. Also, film sessions will be, I need to do Israel film session. Israel or Sami? Which one y'all would like to see first? Sami, Israel, or Big Bo? Who do you guys would like to see out there? And if you have not got a chance to check out the Boss Man Fat film session, be sure to check that one out. It's out there as well. I really appreciate you guys, by the way. Appreciate you, Coach, man. Love you too, man. Appreciate you for all what you do. Both. I could rush through a film session to do both. Or I could just take my time and really pull out some of the plays. And I miss out some of the plays. I don't want you guys to be like one of those people that say, hey, man, Law missed out this, but I ain't going to call him out. Call me out, man, because I don't know everything. I'm still learning players. I'm still learning their tendencies and traits and what they like to do and what they're not supposed to do. All right, so I got one Sami. I got the Beast. I don't know who the Beast is. But appreciate you. Israel, I got one Israel. Sip says both, Law. I'm going to do both of them, but let me know which one to do first. I can't do both of them at the same time. Depths can't be overlooked. Yeah. I want to do the Tyler Cole video. I like him. I like what he brings to the table. I like some of the undrafted guys, you know, some of the people that a lot of people not paying attention to, right? Izzy. That's his nickname, Izzy. Is Israel nickname is Izzy? Because I see a lot of Izzies, you know. 2, 3, 3. Okay, Israel, Izzy. If that's his nickname, okay. Dog it, I might have to do both. But I would do, let's see. Let's break this down. I just did a defensive guy. I could stay in that mind of a defensive guy. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Israel film next. I'm going to pull up all of his clippings and showcase some of his tape that I have, the All-22, on all of the players here, the college players here. So we will be looking into that. So Israel, and we will be looking at tackling, footwork, hips, space, vision, also speed, range. Those are some of the things that you look for out of a DB. You got to look at stance too. You know, do they have their low back? Do they keep their feet anchored in? You know, Are they at the ball of their feet? You know, things like that, the small nuances. Do they reach with their hands? Are they 2 feet heavy? You know, how are they out in space? Their redirect. Things like that is what we look at from a defensive back. Are they able to make ground in space? Or when they go through their phases, are they too physical? Can they get their head around and make adjustment to the ball? Are they a playing their hands guy? A lot of times people think that playing their hands is a bad thing. No, sometimes you got to play the hands in a situation as a defensive back, right? So these are the things. Are they wrap tackles? Do they like to get parallel to the side of the player and pull them down from there? There are, you know, a lot of things to look into out of a defensive back. And the most important thing of it all, believe it or not, like Ripley's, you got to have a short-term memory. Because as a defensive back, you will get burnt. That's a cardinal rule. You're going to get burnt. But will you have a short-term memory? And how are you against the opposing team releases? You'll see a defensive back play a certain receiver one way the first quarter, and then around the third quarter, fourth quarter, they figure out their release. And those who play defensive back, you already know, baby, once I know your releases, I can just start sitting on those routes, right? Oh, my goodness, I can tell where you're going to shift and get up. And then don't showcase all of your moves, right? That's what makes Amari Cooper dangerous. He got so many release points. Oh, my goodness. If you think I'm lying, ask the guy, what's his guy that he left his ankles out there on the field? That dude got some releases, man. I seen him do Xavier Howard. The guy had, 7 interceptions for Miami Dolphins. Crazy. Turned him completely. That's what Amari Cooper brings to the table, right? So those release crazy. Then rise above it all. Yes, Caesar. Yeah. Andrew says he played DB in high school, right? So did you play, were you more comfortable on the field side or the boundary side, right? Did you play off or did you play it up tight? Did you like to anchor in, move player out the way, get into the face, physical? You know, were you a hands guy, Andrew? So those are things that I kind of look at when you're talking about defensive backs, whether you played, and defensive backs are the cornerbacks, safety, and free safety, all of them. Yep. All right, Cowboy Nation. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank those who watched this episode. Be sure on your way out, hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Oh, my dog Okoye is back doing film sessions. Be sure to check out his work. Wonderful guy in doing those film sessions, as well as Voch Lombardi, Skywalker, and my dog Big Game James. And Boss Cowboys, I believe he's doing film session as well. So check out everybody, all of these content creators' work. Foots the King, as well as Mark Holmes and DMV Cowboy and E2 Blue. The name goes on and on. My Cowboys family. All of these Cowboys content creators, man, that's out here. And some of the other fan bases, like there's some Eagle guys, there are some Washington guys, Louis T., great content creator, Bad Dog Sports, great content creator for the Giants, and my guy Lloyd Bronson, he's pretty good as well. So we got some people out here that's from all different platforms, talk sports, and it's good to check them out. Always know your enemy, right? Know your opponents, know your opposition. Speaking of that, Cowboy Nation, the mind. That's the battlefield right there. It's in the mind. Yes, it is. The power of the mind. And you got to sharpen that mind. So that's why I say, hey, know what the right hand is doing and the left, right? Study your opponent, study the opposition, so that you can be placed in a situation to win the race, huh? How about that? Write this down. I say this all the time. So if you don't know it by now, you should. And it's all about desires and the meditations of your heart, soul, and sinew. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all of the things tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty or famish or fame or sickness of body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation and beyond, you will get it. I'm saying this, Cowboy Nation, because I believe that before I'm gone from this planet, that I would have reached out to millions of people and say that same sentiments. I will be able to touch people's hearts. I will be able to touch people's mind and say, man, even though law is gone, I too can put all of my heart, soul, and sinew and my mind together to make things happen, because that guy with the beard out there, he said that, hey, he was sleeping in the back of his car and he made it, right? So what is this that I missed the bus? I don't care, Let me find the next bus so I can get to this interview, right? What is this that it's raining? I remember this guy, Law Nation, he said, man, with all of my capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, right? If he can do it, dog it, I can do it. And like dogged and grim and besieged and beset it, right? That's what motivations of your heart, soul, and mind can do, right? All we got to do is just sit back, baby. And when we win this Super Bowl, woo, it's going to be crazy love. Y'all going to see tears flowing out of my eyes. Tears of joy. Tears of complete crazy love for this team. And I feel it. There's somewhere in my heart. And I feel this team, boy, oh boy, we gonna get there. They're gonna say, Mama, Pookie, Ray Ray, Ashanika, we made it. Wake up, Tupac and Biggie. Tell them, baby, we made it, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you, Jim Law. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of the mods, Sadiq with Charles, and everybody else, man, that's out here. John, appreciate you. Texas Tycoon. Let's go. You were one of the first ones out there, man. Appreciate you. Turn me up. Come on, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Y'all hit that like button on your way out. Yeah. Prize fighter. Even when he's down, he continue to fight. Come on. Try not to put your phone number on the screen now. We don't want personal information. We got some crazy weirdos. But feel free to call me at any time, or text me at any time at 682-214-4087. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yeah. Come on.
Nowadays, nothing really is ice.
We out, baby.
Me and nobody like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a
veteran. Shout out to you, Texas Tycoon. Sheila Neal, Texas again. James Eric time. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Yeah.
Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count
Andrew Hardy. Appreciate you. T-Mac. Let's go.
Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she
come on.
Freeze, photo, please, no photos.
Chris, appreciate you.
Please, no photos. I keep giving game away.
Law.
I put game on layaway.
Nation.
I got paid to play today. I
go.
get paid to
Dwayne.
stay away.
Yeah.
I get paid on rainy
Coach,
days.
right side, appreciate you, bro.
I got paid off paying today. Thought it'd take the
Jay
pain away.
Hughes. moves.
In my own lane, finger roll.
Come on.
I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard this on the market for the low. Who
Yeah.
the realest, we might never know. All this acting, you gon' play a
Come
role.
on.
Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you
My
out
dogs
and then they
at-
line you up.
Oh.
Now you're looking hungry, ribs are
Come on.
touching, need some food.
Come on.
Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's
Yeah.
like me. Phone ringing and I tell
All
them
the
it's
haters,
ice. I got wifey
lean
on
forward
bling,
just a
she
little
ice.
bit.
Freeze, photo, please,
Let's
no
go.
photos, G's, no,
Uncle
no,
Charles,
please,
let's go.
no photos.
Yeah.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me.
Rodriguez, Alita La Raza. Sip the truth. Let's go. No photos. Let's get this grind for your mind going. My name is Law Nation. Let's continue to find ways to elevate this thing. Let's continue to add them up, put them up. Add them up. Yeah.
Do it again. Enemies
Do it
close,
again.
have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins.
Come on.
I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
Terry Turner. Appreciate ya. He's a steal for real. Yeah.
Everything is on me, or you matter what.
Rodney, let's go.
Bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is
Yeah.
on me, gon' back it up.
Come on.
Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Country heart, I'ma cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I
That was
cold,
easy.
but now I'm back
go,
up.
Cowboy Nation.
Well, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying
2
cars,
cent.
a car till you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much.
Appreciate you.
You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
Let's go.
Bankroll,
We grinding to shining, baby. One way, Jimmy. Let's go, super. We're live like 95. Be safe, Sadiq Charles. Appreciate you. Douglas, let's go. Let's grind to shine. Let's add these things up. Those raids, right?
Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Told her if it's
Yeah.
all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Told you I'ma
Right.
do me, why you hating on me?
Why
It's
you
not
hating
adding
on
up.
me? Yeah. This defense, what we gonna do to the NFC East? All right. 2 cent. Come on, man. You already know. Cowboy Nation, it runs through our blood. Come on. Get him. Ain't this right, Carter? Let's go. You're listening to the nation. Come on. Got to get that education for the nation, Carter. Come on. Big bowl. You're going to get 2 sacks this year. Watch. Chris, nothing but the best. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. Avery. Yeah. Yeah, that one thumb down is by Skip Bayless. Or was it Shay Sharp? Appreciate you, Marcus B. Let's go. Can't wait to see you this Hall of Fame game, 2 Cent. Israel. Can't wait to do film on him. Appreciate the fire emojis from Marcus B. Let's get them, Cowboy Nation. Let's get them. That's Robinson right there. So that's the other Rashard Robinson. Appreciate him. Yeah. Let's go. And Wright. Sean Wright. Tyler Cole. Don't sleep on him, man. Kid gonna be something right there. Tyler Cole. Look at it. 4.3 40. Got some good speed. Come on. That's what we gonna do. Height, redirect. The fire from Sadiqua Charles. Appreciate you. Let's go. Let's ride for your mind. Let's go. Yeah. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Yeah, Terry, he's versatile for real, for real. Yeah. Can't wait to see Osa this year, man. Oh, yeah. Look how Coach working with old boy. Double O. Get that hand inside. There you go. That redirect, that exchange. When the last time y'all saw Coach over there doing this? Keep that elbow tuck inside, squeeze. He's gonna play. He actually gonna play on that B gap side at the 3 tech. He gonna shoot and get upfield. That's your big boy right here. Yeah. Jamal says Simi is automatic, baby. Two said no way, no way. That's Chauncey Goldston. Number 59 for your mind. They setting up some block schemes for Chauncey. I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe that's a special team move for him. Yeah, Isaac, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. TJ Vasher is our pits. This is from Markets B. It's your boy. Yeah, Simi. That kid, y'all better watch out for him. 81. He got a pretty good release. Now, even though he got a good release, he got to work on getting off his release, though. But at the top of his route is what I like out of him. Watch he false start. False start. But he got off. Yeah. Come on. I think he do run a 6'4". He's 6'4". I think he do run a 4'3", I meant to say. 4'4", sub 4'4" in my opinion. Yeah. I like the kid though. Look how he cool sitting back. 81 gonna look good out there this year. Especially against those Pittsburgh Steelers on the Hall of Fame game, right? All right, nation. That's all the time that I have for this moment. Really appreciate you all for tuning in and being in. Watch that beat kick in one more time. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Sadiq with Charles says Brady. Yeah. That's the real game we play against Brady. Tom Brady. But all right, Cowboy Nation. We out. Peace.